Hello, this is World University and Schools WUaS News and Question and Answer on Monday, June 26, 2023. I'm Scott McLeod, and as we wait to see if people will join us in this open conversation time in Zoom video conferencing, I'd like to share a little news with you about recent developments at World University and School. So, agenda item 0, next steps for MIT OpenCourseWare-centric wiki World University and School accreditation. Dear Ed Smyth MD, named Chief Medical Officer at WUaS, Sid Mazumdar, Health and Human Services in the federal government, all greetings. Not having heard back from Bill Gates or Roland Vogel yet about joining the WUaS board, and still seeking a WUaS business plan and money to pay the Middle States Commission on Higher Education accreditation and State of Pennsylvania's Department of Education's licensure fees, and per Connie Clifton at Middle States Commission on Higher Education, who is our WUaS representative at MISH, I'm wondering how to proceed with WUaS accreditation and licensure, and either beginning with a Middle States Commission on Higher Education pre-application form from a Pittsburgh, PA address through July 31st, 2023, or potentially a WUaS California address at P.O. Box 442, Canyon, California 94516, beginning 9/1/2023, and also in email and via the web and over the telephone too. Having asked Middle States Commission on Higher Education Connie Clifton about accrediting WUaS with an address in California, with Middle States Commission on offices in the greater Philadelphia area, and not having heard back a response to this question, WUaS did receive an email from federalgrants.gov recently with something about applicate resources, but with no clear sign that submitting another grants.gov after an attempt many years ago would be fruitful. So that's the news presently from World University and School about accreditation and licensure, and could, in a related vein, even a business plan somehow come forth from the US federal government regarding World University and Schools accreditation and licensure, but also in all 50 US states, or for all 50 US states in the USA, and regarding even growing World University and School in all 200 countries and in their main languages for free degrees, free WUaS degrees, Bachelor, PhD, Law, Medicine, IB High School or similar, AA, master's degrees, and potentially in each of all 200 countries and in their main languages, as we accredit and license here, potentially in Pennsylvania. So that's the first item of news I'd like to share with you. The second, or agenda item 1, that was just agenda item 0, WUaS Bachelor and AA degrees regarding WUaS accreditation. Would it be possible to draw from Google's Cert completers too? So some people take a Google certification class and maybe test, and if they complete it and they apply to Google, they may get a job, for example, I think. And it seems like this might be one possible pool of potential students at World University and School, and potentially who might be interested either in a free online MIT OpenCourseWare-centric bachelor's degree or AA degree, possibly. And could such students also, or could another pool of students come from the Creative Commons 4 licensed CS First with Google at WUaS course, Learning the Scratch Programming Language, who completers, who might then potentially be interested in a free bachelor's degree, for example, and even might want to, might have already matriculated into World University and School as a consequence of having completed this CS First with Google at WUaS course. Who are these completers? And how could World University and School get in touch with them upon accreditation with Middle States Commission on Higher Education and licensure with the state of Pennsylvania's Department of Education? Item 1A, thanks Oxford DPhil student Amy L. Thompson in some talks about the value and the significance of classical education and the classics. So the ancient Greek world, for one. And World University and School is seeking to develop further a classical education approach, and drawing also on Reed College's in Portland, Oregon, Humanities 110 course, a required first-year course at Reed for many decades, nearly 7 decades, I think, which first studies the ancient Greek world, and where, for example, literature and democracy and philosophy and science and critical thinking, and poetry and drama all find really significant form that then come to influence so many other parts of the world and modernity too, the modern world since the Industrial Revolutions, in ongoing ways, and even internetity, the information technology revolution, following on the industrial revolutions. So how could World University and School further develop a Humanities 101 course, emerging online on a digital platform from Reed College's Hume 110, so a WUS Hume 101 course for free web WUaS degrees. This is a question about also, could potentially Google for Education Googlers, so part of the Alphabet and Google companies, where Alphabet's the parent company of Google and had 190,000 employees on March 31st, 2023, 190,711 employees, could potentially Google for Education Googlers both create this WUaS Hume 101 course on a digital platform and make it rock and roll in a very different way than might occur in the classroom at Reed College for potentially high-achieving students, for example? And could some of the Google's employees then matriculate at World University and School for free bachelor's, master's, and PhD degrees in computer science, and right now as many as 42 different majors, programs, drawing from MIT OpenCourseWare's programs, and in all 200 countries eventually, and in their main languages too, but first in English. So agenda item 2, and let me just check if people are seeking to join us in this conversation, World University and School has long been seeking to develop a Universitian newspaper at World University and School in each of our languages. And there, by one count, currently 7,168 known living languages. And could World University and School do this with a free online newspaper template and potentially with large language models and generative AI in each of these 7,168 known living languages with machine learning, and also to draw people to these 7,168 language communities. So a daily newspaper in each of these languages at World University and School on the Languages Wiki subject page, from the Languages Wiki subject page, with articles that people want to read and that are of interest to them, potentially in their languages, in their regions where their languages are spoken. And as a way to grow both the Universitian newspaper, but also to grow our languages, and with generative AI, large language models. So item 3, could WUaS collaborate with T-Mobile Telecommunications Company for real-time music making? I'm appreciating having just a few months ago gotten my Wi-Fi through my smartphone hotspot to my MacBook Air laptop computer, having upgraded to slightly more fast Wi-Fi bandwidth recently. I'm appreciating first 8 days of my billing cycle with fast internet speed, and am wondering how World University and School could grow fast internet speed through our smartphone hotspots for all 7.9 billion people on the planet, each of their smartphones, and to their homes in very remote locations, and for real-time music making at the World University and School Music School, planning all instruments ever, symphony orchestras too, all musical instruments ever in all languages ever, and in such a way that people could make music without discernible lag to a musician's ear, without discernible latency to someone playing a musical instrument, say on a remote island in Indonesia, with someone playing a duet or jamming or riffing with them live on a remote location in the United States. This is a question I would like to pursue further in a possible collaboration with T-Mobile for World University and School. Agenda item 4, a realistic virtual Earth for hiking and from home as well, for example, with elliptical machines. And in collaboration newly with AllTrails hiking application and with topographic maps. I've been exploring this idea of a realistic virtual Earth for many different reasons, for traveling, for genetics, thinking in terms of Google Street View with Time Slider, Google Maps, Google Earth, and TensorFlow AI, and little Pegman avatar bot, and Google Translate. But the AllTrails app just blew my mind the other day because I was able to walk, quote, 188 miles virtually in about 10 minutes on the John Muir Trail in the High Sierras in California. And you can too, if you have the app, the All Trails app. And just by clicking the preview button, which is, to my way of thinking, an amazing instantiation of a realistic virtual Earth for hiking, from home even eventually, that's iterating. So basically, I clicked the preview button and a green line emerged through a map, a model, a web page with the Sierra Mountains with contour lines on it, 2D representing 3D. And the green line traced the whole Crabtree Meadows to Tuolumne Meadows along the John Muir Trail in the High Sierras, over mountains, down into valleys, in about 10 minutes. When this becomes Google Street Viewized, and we can see it in a VR headset, potentially we'll be able to literally walk the 188 miles of Crabtree Meadows from near Lone Pine, California, to Tuolumne Meadows in Yosemite Valley, 188 miles virtually on a Stepmaster from home, and see the whole thing. And this could take 2 to 3 weeks if we were doing it from home. It can take 2 to 3 weeks if you're doing it while hiking at 10,000 or 11,000 feet, maybe on average. And even write stories about this, about our virtual journey, for example. So I think that the All Trails app preview button, creating an instantiation of this segment of the Pacific Crest Trail, 188 miles long, is a super beginning for a realistic virtual Earth for hiking, because All Trails is growing out its topographic maps and its other maps for hiking, and it's a very useful application in a variety of ways, in other ways. I hiked the actual physical John Muir Trail, the range of light, in the year 1980, and so much more of the Pacific Crest Trail. So it was interesting to do this 188-mile virtual walk on the All Trails app, and see if what places I recognized even all these years later, these 43 years later. Fantastic possibility. In what ways could World University and School continue to grow a realistic virtual Earth for hiking, for traveling, and for genetics, and for evolutionary biology, and for STEM, and for chemistry and geology and archaeology and anthropology, paralleling a realistic virtual, or interoperable with a realistic virtual Earth for realistic virtual Harbin hot springs, for ethnographic field site, for STEM research, for STEAM research as well, for physical digital STEAM research. So in a recent great Stanford Medicine talk on machine learning and AI by Jonathan Chen and Dr. Lee, Bing AI, artificial intelligence from Microsoft, was mentioned. And I'm wondering about interoperating Bing AI, ChatGPT, Google Bard, conversational, generative artificial intelligence and machine learning, and World University and Schools, WUaS large language models, in collaborations for all 7,168 known living languages. Is Bing AI available? Bill Gates, who receives I think these emailings from WUaS for these open Monday WUaS news and question and answers at 10 a.m. Eastern time. So is Bing AI available for this possibly? And there's some more resources about what Bing AI is. I think you have to download the Edge application to use some features of Bing AI. In the WUaS agenda for today, I'll post it to 2 blogs. Interesting possibilities regarding large language models. So that's the news for today. For the WUaS News and Question and Answer on June 26, 2023. I'll post this to the active YouTube World University and School YouTube channel, youtube.com/Scott McLeod World University /videos. I'll also post the recording of this to the Twitter feeds for World University and School, twitter.com/WORLD UNIVANDSCH and twitter.com/WUaS Press. And meeting at worlduniversityandschool.org is the World University and School email address, and worlduniversityandschool.org is World University and School's present homepage. The Twitters are much more active. Check them out. Come into conversation. Retweet World University and School tweets. If you know of students interested in free MIT OpenCourseware-centric degrees, let World University and School know at meeting@worlduniversityandschool.org. That's all for today. Bye for now. And until next week, I think it will be July 3rd, 2023, 10 a.m. Eastern Time, which is the 4th of July weekend. I actually will not plan to hold these WS News and Question and Answer that week. I may well be at the Rainbow Gathering in New Hampshire, in the White Mountains National Forest. And you're welcome too. It's an open gathering in a beautiful part of the world in New England. Until next week, bye for now. Until 2 weeks from now, bye for now.